I'm
just
over.
living my life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, and I'm not living.
You know, but go back to the morals, and I'm gonna just leave these. I'm gonna hit them with the scripture real quick.
Hold on. Before you hit them with the scripture,
What you got?
let me ask: Are there possible? Are the possible consequences? This one I'm gonna end it off with, and then you hit them with your scriptures.
Got it.
Are the possible consequences of snitching worth it?
The consequences?
Yeah, for like a civilian snitching. I mean, a civilian. We say snitching, but I just don't feel comfortable saying snitching.
Right. And I'm gonna have to say,
are the possible consequences of snitching worth it for a civilian?
yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I say yes is because it's the example that Jesus Christ set for us. You know, cross me so much I got nails in my hands. City on fire like Bethlehem. You understand what I'm saying? And what that means to me is like, you know, Jesus would say, hey, they over here doing this. And he would tell them, hey, I'm about to tell on y'all. I'm about to call the police and tell on y'all that y'all doing this because y'all shouldn't be doing this. To show black Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
I'll fuck with black
Jesus. That show helped me really get some faith in Jesus watching that show. And if you haven't watched every episode of Black Jesus, and I'm talking about every episode.
Actually, that's one of the
best shows
ever.
Yeah. Ever. It's probably my favorite.
It's my top 10.
It made me believe in God again. You know what I'm saying? It brought me back to God. It really brought me back. Because I had a real relationship with God before I got deep into my blackness. And watching Black Jesus reminded me of what Jesus, because the Bible is really about, it's just gearing you up for the hero of the Bible. Jesus was the example of how man can be.
Yep.
How man can be. Now remember, in the Bible, all they showed us was Jesus' highlights and shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go through his everyday struggle. But who knows what Jesus struggled with? Make up your own story. You Jesus. I'm Jesus. Everybody Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, you don't think you Jesus because your name ain't Jesus Christ because they got a name. That's what happened with name. Getting people get tied up in the name. Sorry. It's not Jesus the man.
Caught up in the title.
It's Jesus the Spirit. Yeah. The Christ is the Spirit. Jesus is just the man, but it's the Christ of the Spirit. I don't want to get all deep. I wish Jameson was here. He know.
No, so that's a good point because
Jameson know.
I ask people, why would the Bible even tell you to be these things if there was unaccomplishable? Like if I can't accomplish being perfect, like.
Go be LeBron James.
Just like
that's the best example I got. Go do.
But that's not even asking you to be because that's something that's just like athletic, like that some people are gifted with. But morally, we can all be. We can choose to be this.
And that's all Jesus was showing us.
Yeah, it's not unaccomplished. Like nobody's perfect. Like, well, speak for yourself because of course nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, but we can all. What's stopping us from being perfect?
Humanity.
Yeah, it's like we can.
But
I'm talking about perfect morally.
But you can, because you gotta be in tune with. So you know, Jesse always talk about I'm perfect, and people be like, "What do you mean you?"
He don't say he's perfect.
But you know what I mean. He says this, but when he
he doesn't.
I'm gonna find a video where he says it because
you have to because
I'm about to find it. Yeah. But when he says it, I don't take it as him, Jesse Lee Peterson, because I heard him break it down like my spirit. Mm-hmm. He's referencing the spirit. The spirit is perfect. No matter who you are as a human, your spirit is flawless. Period. It's flawless. It's how it's designed. Now, if you're not channeling it right, you can throw it off and you can lose sight of where your spirit even is inside of your mind. You don't know where it exists at no more because you got so deep into your human self that you've lost your spiritual morals to keep you grounded in your faith and connected to the true God that exists in all of us.
Be in the world, not of it.
And that's what I'm saying. So when you so externally focused, you lose the internal sight inside of you, which is a perfect spirit that God has put in all of us, which, you know, he was the example through Jesus, the book, Jesus Christ.
Which me personally was my best when I was a kid.
Yeah. And that's what that's what everybody
my parents, they'd be like, hey, when you was a kid, you just knew. They're like, you never did. And I knew when shit was wrong. Even in that, I mean, I know now. Mm-hmm. But like as a kid, I actually followed it to a T. Like obey your parents. My parents say, hey, don't you walk into this house without your key. I don't want you to jump to. I'm standing on the porch for 5-6 hours waiting for them to come home in the snow. It's like I followed everything to a T. They thought it was so weird. They thought it was weird so much I followed to a T. But as a kid, I really knew right from wrong. Like even my friends, they like, this nigga. But it's like, at some point I got lost and get lost astray.
And we all go there. We got to go through our human experience to understand how to separate ourselves from our human experience. Because I think we get caught up so deep in being humans and the trauma that we experience as humans that we forget that we're spiritual beings initially. The body is a vehicle. When they say it's a vessel, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really who you are right now. That's who you are today, but that's not really who you are as a spirit. It's something bigger and better than that. And I just wish all y'all could see that, you know. But I'm going to get into this Isaiah verse real quick. And it says, Isaiah 1:16, 17 says, stop doing wrong. Learn to do right. Seek justice. Encourage the oppressed. Defend the cause of the fatherless. Plead the case of the widow. Now, people get mad at God. And I know black people done turn their back on God because, you know, niggas ain't got no money. Being broke can do that to you. It make you forget about everything. But what you got to understand about the Bible is this. It's not a book that be taken just literally. To me, it's a book of codes and things that you can take from it and apply to your everyday life. The story of Jesus walking on water could have been people just scared of water because they don't know what the hell water was. So they were scared to walk in, and he could be walking in a few feet of water. And niggas said, man, y'all see here, he walking on water. But he could have been knee deep in it. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all don't know what they seen to make it think like he walking on water. The story could have got over-exaggerated, whatever the case may be. I think he would get so deep into the Bible in terms of, you know, the white man wrote this and blah, 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 that they can't take nothing from it. And if you got a problem in your life and you black and you going through something, get you a Bible and start reading the book of Proverbs.
Yeah.
Just start reading that.
Because God is in you.
Yeah.
It's not no, like you don't even need it. You actually don't need a Bible to find God. I believe in that, truly. But the Bible is like an instruction manual.
That's all it is, man.
And of course, people say it's been you know, tampered with over time. Of course, yeah. But it's like when you have God and when you find God in yourself, and then you read that book, you be like,
you can take something from it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, because you know, like your thoughts aren't flawed. It's like you hold yourself accountable. You are not blaming others. You're not a victim. You're not running in the victim Olympics. You are accountable for your own actions. It brings something that, like, you read it totally different. I read the Bible as a victim and not a victim, and it hits different.
Way different.
Yeah.
Way different. And then before I got deep into my victimhood mentality, because that's what that black stuff was, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's how they set us up. They turn black into victim. Being a victim is now a race. And that's why you see all these other groups leeching off of black people trying to be victims. But I'm not even going to go there. But black people, man, we got to get back to that Bible, get back to that word to condition our brains for righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Every time you read, and I talk about this and how the benefits of reading is, when you're reading words and you're reading books, it's like doing push-ups and sit-ups for you with your mind. You're strengthening your mind when you do that because you have to focus your mind to read these things. You have to look at it and you have to interpret it. And if you were smart, I mean, just take notes, write it down so you can remember it. You ain't got to read the whole book. You can just read one scripture every day. So just keep reading. Just push yourself to do something different. If you're having a hard time in life, you got to look around at why you're having a hard time and you got to try to do something different. You know what I'm saying? And I think the first thing we can start about is, you know, if your neighbor is doing wrong, y'all need to get together as a community and say something about it.
Yeah. I think the best option is, if I understand that you might not be, this is my last 2 cents. If there's a neighbor that you can talk to, speak to them first about like, hey, we don't like this going on. Yeah. And it's going to have to end soon. But most of the time, it's not going to be like that.
They're going to shoot you.
So it's probably best to just call the police on them.
But if you can,
especially if you have kids, you don't want your kids seeing.
But you know, come on now, let's be real about it. It be these people's nephews, they sons, they kids out here doing this stuff.
No. So you speaking? It is probably one neighbor like that. That's but the majority of the neighbors everybody in the neighborhood ain't related.
Man,
it affects the whole neighborhood. I don't know what type of neighborhoods you stayed in, but my neighborhood's been kind of big, and there's been a few family members. And it's like I'm speaking this smallest neighborhood I stayed in, like currently, but it's like everybody's not related.
When I was growing up, it was gangbanging families.
That's been everywhere. It's always gangbanging.
That's why it's like where the area is. So where I'm at, it's like families of people that's in it.
But everybody, so you have over say you have 1,000 people staying in your neighborhood.
Okay.
10 of them related.
Okay.
That's the minimum.
Minimum. I could.
I mean, that's probably the most actually.
I see the rise in that too, because a lot of houses,
Yeah, but it's like, and they don't even stay on the same street. So it might be 2 on the same street, 3 block over. It doesn't matter. It's like you got to get them out of there. It's like you got to do what's best for your kids and your family.
And community. No, undoubtedly. But I know these.
I say kids and family, then community.
But I mean, yeah, but
kids and family is going to eventually affect community.
Community,
too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just don't do a good job of that in our neighborhoods.
Yeah,
we don't.
So y'all let us know what y'all think. Should you be snitching on your neighbors if they in there? Yeah, aka snitching. Or should you be telling the truth about your neighbors when they're over there selling dope, busting jigs? Got a trap house in you. Turn up your community because they don't take care of that grass and shit. Should you be telling on your neighbors to the cops? Get them up out of there. Or should you just mind your business?
Shit. I don't know. Y'all come out to the suburbs with that.
Sandwich with the wrong side of the